There we go. So welcome everybody. I'm Kathleen, and I am so excited to see all your lovely faces. And to get started, so I'm just going to mute everybody because it makes the recording a lot better. But we'll open it up later so we can all talk to you. Oh. Yeah. There we go. Okay, Carla, for some reason I can't mute you. If you are able to do that yourself, if not, don't worry about it. But I don't know why I can't mute you. Oh, there you go. Thank you. Okay, so welcome. So this is a Zoom call. If you've never been a part of one before, we do these little video chats because a lot of what we do is online, and it's hard to feel connected when you're just typing. And this is the best that we can do since we're spread out across the country. Best that we can do to a live in-person thing, which hopefully we'll get to do at some point as well. So we are so excited to welcome all of you to Inspiration Nation. This is an amazing team of coaches that feel very passionate about what we do and are so excited to welcome you in with us. And we thought we'd kick off this Coach Basics with a call, but I want to go through a couple things with you, but I also just want to get some introductions down and help you meet some of the people who are going to be leading Coach Basics and who are already part of the team, and give us a chance to meet some of you and hear a little bit more about what brought you in to coaching and what your experiences have been so far, if any. So I want to do all those things too. And I also want to give you a little bit of expectations about the group itself and the next 30 days that we're going to have together, getting to know the business and getting to know what coaching is all about. So let's start with introductions first. I just want to tell you a little bit about my story and how I came to be a coach. I know some of you may have heard this before, but for those I don't know, I just want to tell you a little bit more about me. So I've been coaching since the summer of 2013. So I'm coming up on 2 years this summer. And by profession, I'm actually a social worker. And I started out, before I became a Beachbody coach, I had been doing oncology social work for the last 7 years. And when I was, I have 3 boys, and when I was pregnant with my 3rd son, who's going to be 3 in April, I can't even believe it. But anyway, when I was pregnant with him, I had a tough pregnancy. I gained more weight than I had with my other pregnancies. And after I had him, I just really struggled, and I weighed my heaviest, and I felt really uncomfortable with myself, and I really struggled. And we had also moved, and it was just a really stressful time. And I really, it was hard for me to kind of be happy in my own skin. So anyway, I started exercising, and I lost a little bit of weight, and I thought it wasn't quite enough. I wanted to pass on my maternity clothes, but I was still wearing them, and it just was really frustrating. So I had been kind of watching my now coach, Alyssa, who's part of our upline, and we'll talk more about that later, uplines and all that stuff. But anyway, so my coach is Alyssa, and I'd kind of been watching her on Facebook a bit because she was posting about exercising. She had 3 kids, and I was thinking, how in the world are you doing this? I can't seem to figure it out. So eventually, after our first contact, 4 months went by. Eventually, I kind of realized that I needed some real help with my nutrition. The exercising piece I was kind of getting down, but the nutrition piece was just not there. And my husband and I joked that we were just kind of figuring out what we could throw on the table. We were just kind of surviving, and that's the best we could do at the time, we thought. So anyway, I joined my first challenge group, which was a clean eating and Shakeology group. I've never been a shake person. I've never been slim fast. I've never done protein shakes, any of that stuff. But I just kept seeing and hearing about it, and I thought, I really want to give something a try. So I joined that group, and I'm going to be honest with you, I did not love Shakeology from the start. I was a little bit not sure about it. It took me a little bit to find a flavor I liked and a combination that I liked, recipe that I liked. But I knew that it was throughout the course of the group, learning the clean eating principles and applying them and drinking Shakeology, I was noticing huge differences in my body. I was losing weight healthy and steadily, and the way I felt about myself and my energy, and people were noticing my skin looked better and all that kind of stuff. And I just thought that I needed to keep going with this. It was really important to me. And at the same time, the kicker for me was Shakeology. At the same time, I was taking a class at my work about anti-cancer nutrition. And it was, I took the ingredients of Shakeology to the nutritionist there, and she gave it the thumbs up. And she said all the stuff that we were learning about in the class about these superfoods and adding things to your diet and so on, and taking things out of your diet with the processed foods, all those things were the same as what I was learning in this in the Clean Eating and Shakeology group. And that was kind of the what sealed the deal for me. And I thought, this is amazing. It's working for me. Maybe I could do a little bit on the side and help other people get these kind of results that I'm getting. And so then after that, I decided to keep going, and I did T25 and a challenge group next with Shakeology, and I just really liked it, and I thought I could do do enough coaching to get a cleaning lady, because I thought that would really help my life. And then some stuff happened at work, and I was having some pretty significant burnout because there were lots of things going on with I ran support groups. And I just thought, I really want to be home with my kids. And so in September of that year, I took the leap of faith to do Beachbody full time. And I resigned from my job, pulled my kids from daycare, and have been coaching ever since. And I love what I do, and I love continuing to help people, which is part of my personal mission and passion in life, being a social worker. But I also love the potential of this business, which is unlike any other business I know, because we'll talk more about this, and I'm not usually comfortable sharing financial stuff, but I want to share it with you because I think it's really powerful that I doubled my income from the first year in this business to the second year in this business, and I'm able to be home with my kids. And so I'm not like that. There are other coaches above us that are 6-figure income earners, and that's not me yet. So I'm not making any false promises about that kind of stuff. But the fact that when I was in my social work job and I would get, we cross our fingers for like a 2% increase for cost of living, and now getting, kind of sky's the limit increase in pay. It's just an amazing thing to be able to continue a mission of helping people in a very positive way, and make an income at it. So those are the things I love about Beachbody and the things that I love about this job, because the products are amazing. The company's amazing to be a part of. Our team is amazing to be a part of. And the work we do is awesome. And then these financial freedom ideas that I hear about from top coaches, I just can't imagine any job being any better than this is. So anyway, so that's kind of my little spiel. I don't want you to just hear it from me, though. I'd love for the other coaches that are going to help with Coach Basics, I'd love for them to tell you a little bit about their stories, and then maybe we can hear from all of you as well. And I just lost you all. There we go. And so maybe we could just kind of go around. So why don't I have Shannon? Why don't I have you go next? Let me unmute you here a second. Okay. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited that you are all here. And I don't know, I have such a passion for this business and what we do as coaches, and to see like all of you starting out with this journey, I just think is absolutely amazing. And I just want to tell you a little bit about how I got started. I actually met Kathleen at a mom's club, and at the time my son was about 4 or 5 months old, and I don't know, I gained 50 pounds when I was pregnant with him, and I just couldn't get rid of it. I tried getting on the treadmill, and I'm making a really long story short. Anyway, so I was very unhappy with the way I looked. I was still in my maternity clothes and just feeling terrible about myself, and it was really, really affecting me as a mom, and it was affecting me as a wife, and I was going crazy. So at the same time, I needed to get out of the house, and with being alone with the newborn all day, it was tough for me. So we joined the Moms Club, and that's when we met Kathleen. And I was telling her a little bit about my issues with weight loss, and she was telling me about, her challenge groups. And so I decided, I'm like, what the heck? I have nothing else to lose. So I joined her challenge group, and I've heard of Shaun T before, so with Insanity. So I decided to give T25 a try, and I was shakes, any kind of shake before. But at this point, I'm like, what the heck? I've got nothing to lose. And Kathleen explained like how it's different than others and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, at the same time, I was really intrigued that she was a social worker and she was a health and fitness coach. And because I've always had it, I'm a social worker too. I was before I had my son for 14 years, and I work with the geriatric population. And I just, I just always had a passion for fitness and health prior to my pregnancy, because I had a weight loss journey in high school and I managed to keep it off, for 20 years. And so I was just very passionate and always loved hearing weight loss stories and just loved giving guidance and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, I joined, the same day that I purchased my challenge pack, I signed up to be a coach. And it was really scary because, I had all this weight to lose yet. And here I am as a health and fitness coach. So my goal in the beginning was to inspire people along the way. Like, you should see my first selfie I ever took. It was terrible. I was non-existent on Facebook. And then all of a sudden I'm like, hi, here's me doing my workout, But slowly but surely, I just grew as a coach, and I never imagined what this business would do for me personally and for just the people that I'm helping. Like, it has just been a truly amazing journey. And also too, it took me 2 years to conceive my son, and I didn't want to miss a day of his life. And I decided to be a stay-at-home mom and not go back to work. And I got to tell you, if it wasn't for Beachbody, I would have had to have gone back to work a long time ago. So honestly, like, not only is it fulfilling my passion of helping others achieve their health and fitness goals and feel good about themselves again, like it has for me, I get to now stay home with my son and not miss a day of his life. So that's my really long story short.
Awesome. Thanks, Shannon.
Uh-huh.
Okay, let's keep going so you can meet some of the other coaches. How about Terry? How about if you go next? Let me unmute you. There you go.
Hi, everyone. My name's Terry Shaw. I have been a coach on Inspiration Nation for about 1.5 years now. And I'll try to make my story really short because I know everybody wants to talk and say something. So I was good friends with Kathleen, and we had started to train sort of for a half marathon together. We both wanted to try to get rid of some of our baby weight. She has 3 boys, I have 3 boys. So we also wanted to get out of the house together and just have girl time for a little bit. And if that meant we had to go run, we were going to do it. And so, I had gotten to know her after our marathon and everything. I went out to lunch with Kathleen. Maybe it was breakfast, I don't remember. But anyway, just to talk, whatever. And when I saw her, I was like, whoa, what are you doing? You look amazing. She looked healthy. She was super skinny. She was like fit and looked awesome. And she started telling me about Beachbody and, that she was in a challenge group and she had become a coach. And I didn't really understand what all that meant. I mean, I saw on my Facebook page that she had become an Emerald coach, and I didn't know what any of that meant. So she started talking to me about it, and I was a little hesitant to join. I wasn't really sure, what that all meant. I was all for maybe joining working out with T25. I knew about insanity and all those things, and I sort of, I was into fitness, so that was enticing to me. So I did join a challenge group with her, and she was the leader of the group, and it was awesome. I loved everything about it. I wasn't a shake person either. So when I started drinking Shakeology and noticed how it had changed just my daily life, I felt better, had more energy. I ran 2 half marathons, and I think I lost like 2 pounds. It was a lot of training for not a lot of weight loss, until I started learning about clean eating and how to adapt it to my life, and, including the Shakeology daily, getting the support from a support group and her as my coach was awesome. I had never done anything like that. I was sort of a closed person, and I thought I could do everything on my own. And then when I joined one of these challenge groups and realized it's a lot easier when you have people around you doing the same thing and helping you to succeed. So I was hooked. She asked me if I wanted to coach, and again, I was like, I don't think I can do that. I don't know. I'm a teacher. I'm a daycare provider. I don't know if I could coach adults. I'm not sure if I was going to be cut out for it. And, once I started to get into, the challenge groups, and it just seemed like a, natural extension to do this. And I haven't looked back. It's been awesome. I love every minute of it. I am currently at home with my kids. When I was a teacher, and then when I had my children, my first son, I stayed home with him and opened a family daycare out of our home. And so I've been doing that for 9 years. And my youngest now, I have 3 boys. My youngest is 4. So he's getting a little older, 1 more year, and then he'll be in kindergarten. And so it seemed very natural to this summer. I'm going to close up my family daycare, I guess you could say, and jump on with Beachbody full time. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I love every minute of it. So I'm glad you're all here, because we are very passionate about what we do, and we're going to share all we can with you and try to help you succeed as well. So welcome, everyone. That's me, kind of condensed and not jumbled, and sorry.
It was perfect. Awesome.
Next.
Next. Thanks, Terry. Oh, all right. Sarah, would you like to go next?
Yeah, I'll share real quick. Can you hear me with my headphones on? Okay.
Yep.
I'm Sarah Shaw. I am Terry Shaw's sister-in-law. Many times we get confused as sisters, which is fine by me. But I started into the Beachbody Inspiration Nation team probably back in August time. I had spent probably 6 months watching Terry do her thing, and I really liked what she was doing. Like, I really respected the way that she approached it. And I have a background of health and kind of physical education. So I was a teacher of health and PE before I had children. I have 4 kids, and that kind of caused me to stay home. It wasn't worth me teaching and paying for 4 kids to go to daycare. So I stayed home, which I loved. And I'm finally hitting a season in my life where my youngest is 5, and she's going to go to kindergarten this year. So breaks my heart a little bit that my children aren't going to be home with me anymore. But at the same time, I see a light at the end of the tunnel. And I also see my life shifting in a certain direction. So the last year, I've been kind of like tossing around, like, what am I going to do when my children go back to school? Do I go back into teaching, which is an option, but here in North Carolina, like, teaching is like way down in terms of how it can pay. And it's a little complex, but I also had started doing some personal training with some of my background. I wanted to use some of my expertise. So I was training some athletes, and I was kind of doing some strength training. But I also saw this opportunity that Terry was doing as a way to kind of leverage my time and my expertise by reaching out to lots of people rather than just this small, tight-knit group that is at my direct contact. So instead of, trading an hour's work for an hour's pay, I was able to influence more lives through social media, and also just kind of influencing towards health, which I truly believe in. And Beachbody was a way to do it. And so I started, the first month I did T25. I started the program, and I fell in love with it. I had done Insanity before, and I never fell in love with that. But T25, maybe it was the 25 minutes. It was effective. It was also the Shakeology that I added into my diet along with clean eating that really kind of changed my body and my approach to things. So, I mean, I was always fit my whole life, but I was never a clean eater. Terry and I can kind of vouch for that for each other. We like our baked goods, and I love my little Debbies, but this was just kind of a way to really expose me to clean eating. And I just really felt passionate to share that with other people. So I kind of went full force, probably early fall, And I really believe in the product, and I swear by it. And that does make it a whole lot easier to what we call sell to people. But I really don't feel like I'm selling. I feel like I'm making people capable, and we were created to be strong and healthy and take control of our health, and it's up to us to do that. So we as coaches can kind of lead people down that path. But I've loved it. I haven't gotten to a point yet where I'm at Kathleen and Terry where I can supplement an income yet, but I will get there. It's only been 6 months. And it's something that I understand it takes work, but it takes consistency. And I love the team we're on. I think they're super supportive. I learn something every day, even though I've been doing it for a couple months. And they're easy to depend on. They're loyal. Everyone else is consistent. So it's a fun team to be a part of. And I'm super glad that I made this decision to jump on board with Terry and Kathleen and everybody else.
Yay, awesome. Thanks, Sarah. All right, how about you, Anne? Would you like to share a little bit about your story?
Sure. I apologize in advance if you hear some Maureen in the background. I guess we're boring him. So I am one of Kathleen's coaches as well. I signed up last April. I spoke with Kathleen after I had my baby, and I was worried about fitting back into my clothes after maternity leave to go back to work. And Kathleen was like, I knew I wanted to do T25. I couldn't go back to the gym and spend as much time as I had been there. So I needed something fast and effective and at home. And Kathleen was like, oh, if you ever heard of Shakeology, you should do this, blah, 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 blah. And I had before, actually, but when I looked into it, the price scared me away, and I didn't know anybody else who drank it or anything, so I hadn't tried it. So this time I was like, you know what? I'm going to go all out. I'm going to try it. She assured me I could return it if I didn't like it or whatever, so I was like, fine, I'll try it. And within 2 weeks, actually really like the first day I drank it, I forgot to have my tea in the morning, and I never got a headache for no caffeine. So like the first day I was like, this is interesting. And then within 2 weeks, I noticed more energy. I felt better. And I've had IBS since I was a teenager. And my symptoms, which had incredibly worsened during pregnancy, were practically non-existent after a couple weeks of Shakeology. And since switching to vegan, they have been non-existent. So for that reason alone, I will be a believer of Shakeology forever and drink forever. And since that time, I've done a lot of programs. I didn't really start trying to coach until last June. And then lately it's picked up, and it's been an interesting journey trying to balance that with my job and my kid, and I'm in school too. So it's been fun and interesting, but this has been a really supportive team, and they've always helped me with everything. If I've had questions, or if I'm going crazy or missed a call or whatever. And it's really just nice to be part of a group where people they're into the same things that you are. And, I feel like so many times you see people, they see you eating healthy and they're like, why are you doing that? Why do you don't need to lose weight, or why are you doing that? But nobody would be like, oh, why are you eating McDonald's? So it's really nice to have this team that's all like, yeah, this is great. This is long-term. This is a lifestyle change. And we're all kind of on the same page. And so it's been really fun. And I thank Kathleen for bringing me into it.
Yay, awesome. Thanks, Anne. And let's have Jeannie. How about if you go to...
Sure. Hi, I'm Jeannie. I became a coach the end of November. I was always thin and could always eat whatever I wanted, so I did. But I wasn't in shape, and I hate going to the gym. So I figured walking the dog was enough, and really didn't think that much about my health and fitness. I ate whatever was easy. Those freezer meals for two were usually what I was eating for dinner. By the time I got home from work and took care of my sick dog, I just didn't think I had the energy to do anything else. I was diagnosed with fibromyalgia in my 20s and basically walked around feeling like I had the flu all the time. Was told to eat right and exercise, it would help. I didn't do that. I didn't think I had the time to do it. It was going to be too much work. So the end of September, I got a message from Terry. I've known Terry since we were in probably 5th grade. So she asked me to join a challenge group, the 21-Day Fix, and I had all of these reasons to tell her no. But I didn't. I thought, it's Terry. If she believes in this, I'll give it a shot. It's 21 days, and then life will go back to the way it was. I fell in love with Shakeology and the 21-Day Fix. Coaching wasn't on my radar. I was just enjoying feeling healthy. My fibromyalgia was in check. Wasn't having issues with that. My energy level was up. Then Terry approached me about being a coach. And with the results that I had, I thought, we'll give it a shot. You know, if anything, it'll just pay for my Shakeology. Well, these last couple of months have been unbelievable. And it's just been wonderful being able to share my experience with people. And when I was in my first challenge group, it was so fun to hear everybody else's success stories. And as a coach, that's what I want to hear. I want to know that I'm helping somebody else be successful in their health and fitness journey too. So it's been the best decision I ever made. And I'm hoping someday that I'll be able to do this full time and get rid of my desk job. So it's been a great experience, and I'm glad you guys are all here because our team is great. Look, the job is great.
Awesome. Thanks, Jeannie.
Now I have to let the dog out.
All right. So now we're going to ask all of you to maybe say a little bit about yourselves as well. So those are the coaches that are going to be helping to lead Coach Basics that we're all going to be a part of. But now we're going to ask some of you to share. And if you just want to share a little bit about, your story right now, and if you've had some experience with Beachbody, I know some of you may be jumping into coaching right from the start, and that's awesome. And some of you may have been through challenge groups, and that's great too. But if you could just give us a little idea of who you are and where you are with everything, that would be really helpful. So I'm going to have Deb go first because she's been with us for a little bit. Wait, let me unmute you. There you go.
Hi, I met Kathleen while volunteering at her place of work, and I'm a retired teacher, and I exercised, but not consistently, and I really started putting on a lot of weight. And I saw Kathleen's success, and her hair looked great, and she just seemed to really radiate and it looked wonderful. She was so slim, and I asked her to share what she was doing, and she told me about it, and oh, okay, well, I waited a few months, and she contacted me again, and I decided to try, and she recommended the 21-Day Fix because portion control has always been so difficult for me. So I tried the 21-Day Fix, and I couldn't believe my energy level, and just was fabulous from the Shakeology, and no more, less cravings, and I feel so much better. And consistent workouts just really make a difference in how you feel. I have found, and I joined the Y, and I have some women that I do exercise with, which is great. But this Beachbody team has just been a great group of people who support you on with any problems, and I love sharing the recipes and just the challenge of being in a group where you are accountable every day for what you're eating and making sure that you get your exercise in, and then supporting other people. And one of the things that I've taken away is that you can't be perfect every day, but you try your best, and each day is a new day, and you just don't give up. So it's just been wonderful, and I've really enjoyed being a part of this.
Thanks, Deb. I love it.
Can I just say something? Deb, I'm so glad you're here. It's nice to meet you because you've been in one of the challenge groups that I was coaching. So it's nice to see you here.
Yeah, nice to see you. My biggest problem is my technology deficit. I didn't grow up with the computer, and this is holding me back, and I've been trying to work on that. And one of the other coaches, Mia, has even offered to help me, and I know Kathleen will. I just hate to take up people's time, but I think that's an issue, and I don't know if anybody else has that issue, but I'm a lot older than many of you, but it's an issue.
I think we can definitely help, though. I think you have something so special to offer, Deb, with your background and even your age group and all that stuff. I I think if we can get you past that, you just really have so much to give, and I think it'll be amazing. So let's do it.
Okay, thank you.
All right. How about, let's see, who's next here on my screen? How about Julie? There you go. You can just talk.
Okay. Hi, I'm Julie Santarlis, and I've known Kathleen since high school. We've interacted a couple times throughout the years, and I saw her information on Facebook. That was probably about a year and a half. I joined her challenge group, and it was the one that Terry started in too. I remember her being in our group, and at that point during the challenge, I became pregnant, and that was with my third son also, like the other two of you. And I just liked what I was learning, and I realized that our family and the way we were eating, it just wasn't going to work. And my husband actually, he went along with me during the challenge group, and he had a lot of success. He lost about 25 pounds, and I got through the pregnancy, and he's 6 months old now, and I started to think, you know what, we fell off the wagon. I need some help to just keep up with this. And I've been following, what you guys have been doing since then, and it just looked like something awesome to be a part of, and a lot of support. And I thought, Kathleen asked me again, and I thought, you know what, maybe this is the time that I try this out. And, I'm going to always wonder, could I have done it? And I didn't want to wonder anymore. I just wanted to try it. So that's where I am, and I'm excited. And thank you guys for all of your support so far already.
Awesome. Thanks, Julie. We're so excited you're here. We have this, I swear, ever since you had your third and you sent a message saying you're now part of the club, I keep in my head, I keep thinking, I am starting a Mom of Three Boys club. I don't know what to call it. That's the only thing holding me back. I don't know what to name it. But I'm starting one. Okay. I missed, I can't see the name of somebody that's to my right. Here, wait, I tried to write down, let me see if I can find it.
Is it Nicole, maybe?
It might be Nicole. Who's Nicole? Wave your hand, Nicole. Yes. You don't have a name on my screen. Okay, why don't you go next, Nicole? Let me unmute you. Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be here. So I'll try to be brief with my story too. I don't talk a lot, but when I talk, I tend to get kind of long-winded. But so I'm the oddball. I have two little girls, and only two. No more for me. But kind of long story short, I really started gaining a lot of weight about, I guess, 2.5 years ago. I'm a nurse, and I was working 12-hour shifts in the hospital. And then I changed from hospital nursing to home health nursing. So instead of spending 12 hours on my feet all day, I was spending 12 hours 3 days a week driving around in the car. And a lot of my time interacting with patients was also spent sitting. So I was definitely becoming more sedentary. And in the meantime, at least one meal a day on the days I was working, I was picking up fast food from, whatever happened to be closest. So like a couple of you said, I got to the point where I wasn't comfortable in my own skin. I was approaching a pant size that I hadn't seen before in my life, and was actually approaching a weight that I hadn't seen since towards the end of my 2 pregnancies. So I've known Sarah since high school, and we connected on Facebook at some point, and I had seen her posting some before and after pictures of, her Beachbody challengers, and it got me interested. So I contacted her, and it took a couple months, I guess, or at least a few weeks of, me asking questions and her answering. And I finally took the plunge with a 21-day fixed challenge group. And long story short, I got great results, and I did a couple rounds of that. And then I guess the beginning of January, I started PIO, and I'm almost finished with that. And I'm going to start T25 next. So I think I've lost about 20 pounds altogether so far. So obviously I'm thrilled with those results, and hopefully I can help other people achieve the same thing.
Awesome. Well, welcome. We're so glad you're here. Those are great results. Good for you. You must feel so good. And what'd you say?
I said, I hope I keep going.
Keep going. I love it.
Nice to see your face.
Oh, and hear your voice.
Yeah, I'm glad you're here.
Jeannie and Nicole were in a challenge. I think you guys were in the first challenge group together.
Yeah, and we message back and forth all the time and see how each other are doing. And so I'm happy to see her here.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I love
Good.
that.
Best beach buddy friends.
Okay, how about you, Jolene? How about if you go next?
That's fine. Hi, I'm Jolene Jensen, and I did a 5-day eating challenge with Terry in November, and I really liked my results after that. And then I saw an infomercial and thought, 21-day fix. I wonder if that'll work for me. So I IM'd Terry. She hooked me up with a challenge group, and I started January 5th, and I have been hooked ever since. I have been on the 21-day fix eating plan pretty much for the last 7 weeks. I've lost 16.4 pounds, and I'm 58 years old, so that is just an awesome, awesome, awesome result for me. I have tried to lose weight my entire life. I'm so sad that I didn't find this earlier. And I thought, I'll just become a discount coach. But then a friend of mine asked me what I'm doing, and she ordered from me last week. So she ordered a challenge pack, and I'm going to be helping her. She's unfortunately not a Facebook person, so it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge for me. But I've already got some stuff printed off, and Terry's going to help get me some email stuff for her, and I'm looking forward to that. And there's a couple other people that I hope to get involved with this, so I think I'm going to dive in a little bit quicker than I thought I would, just because I'm so excited with my own results. And I am also technically challenged, Deb, so I understand. Terry's been helping me. I have another friend here in Racine that helps me, or in Milwaukee. So yeah, I mean, I'll get by, and we'll figure it out. I'm excited. And I'm starting another 21-day challenge. Well, I started it last week. It was prep week. So we're starting in again next week. So, and I've only been able to exercise 2 weeks out of this 7 because of some problems I had. But I had cortisone shots, and I'm ready to go. And I've been exercising the last 4 days. So, and I feel great. So I'm excited.
I'm so excited you're here. But Jolene was in the group that Terry and I just finished together.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked her if she thought I could take Terry. And she said she thought it would be a tie. Now, come on.
Well, it's just nice, you know. I don't know you at all, Kathleen, and I barely know Terry, so I'm like, I should stick up for my coach, though.
Terry's got about 6 inches on me.
Oh my gosh.
But I can still take her. All right, just kidding. Okay, so now we're going to go to the phone people. I know Renee's on the phone. I'm not sure which. Wait, let me just unmute my phone friends here. Renee, are you able to tell us a little bit more about you?
Yeah, I am. Sorry, our iPad is really old, and so it doesn't have the view or whatever. And I can't find my little camera for my computer, so I'm sorry I'm just on the phone, but I'll find the computer thing for next time. So anyway, I'll try not to ramble too. I met Kathleen in a mom's club, I guess, was it maybe like 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And I don't remember how I got talked into doing the challenge, one of the challenge groups, and I started it, and I was doing a Shakeology, and I was getting good results, and here I ended up getting pregnant with my 3rd child, although I have 2 boys and then I had a girl, so I'm not in the 3 boys club. But whenever I was pregnant, I ended up dropping out of the challenge group. So I was so sick, and I couldn't keep up. And anyway, after my 3rd one was born last April, like I kept wanting to get back into it, and then I just didn't. And I joined the gym last summer, and I I did really good, and got down to like a decent weight loss and was getting in good shape, but then I kind of hit a plateau, and I guess like I'm just kind of frustrated, like it's so hard to get to the gym, and I know like if I can do it at home, it's just so much more convenient, and I don't have to drag 3 kids there, and it just works out so much better. And I don't know, Kathleen kind of talked me back into doing the learning about what coaching is, and I just ready to. I guess I was ready to do another challenge group, and I kind of am joining right now, I guess, to be a discount coach. I have a photography business that I'm really working hard to make successful, and I just don't know how much time I have to devote to being like a coach, along with doing my other business too. But I don't know, who knows?
You could get some great before and after, like real pictures as a photographer. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
It's great to have a photographer on our team. She can take all their pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're here tonight, Renee.
Thanks, Kathleen.
Yeah. And there's somebody else on the phone. I think was it Carla that I see a message that said Carla.
Yeah.
Jump on the phone, Carla.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, hi. Well, I got interested in the program because I know Jeannie Arnold and Terry. I went to high school with them, but I saw Jeannie's pictures on Facebook, and I was like, wow, what is she doing? And I got interested with no desire to lose weight. I just I wanted to be stronger and more fit, because prior to joining the group and doing the 21-day fix in January for the first time, I haven't broken a sweat since, like, I don't know, June. And I'm thin, but I don't exercise. And I went skiing in December, and I was so sore after skiing, and I was just like, I just know I'm out of shape. So anyway, that's just what got me interested. And right now I'm a discount coach, and I'm interested in hearing more about the business. I have a lot of sales experience, so I know I'm not a shy person, but I just, I just want to hear more about it and see if it's something that I'm going to have time to do with my job now. I'm not in sales anymore, but I love Shakeology. I've only done the 21-day fix, and I'm getting better and stronger every day with the exercises. So, I love it. I mean, I don't know. I can't say anything bad about anything. Are you there?
Oops, I was talking to you, but I was on mute.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry. You can't.
That's okay.
No, welcome. I'm so glad you're here with us.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I'm happy to be here too.
Great. Okay, I'm gonna unmute you all for a second, and in case there's anything. Oops, somebody just got bumped around here. So I'm just going to tell you for a second a little bit more about what you can expect coming up, and a little bit more about the coming weeks. And then I just want to explain to you also a little bit about the groups that you're going to be a part of, because I don't want anybody to get it's going to be a little overwhelming in the beginning. I can't lie to you. It's just learning new things. It's like starting any new job. It's going to take a little bit of time to understand things. We're still learning. I think Sarah was saying still learning stuff every day. I mean, that's true even for me at where I am in the business, but to try and help ease your transition in, I just want to help you with, first of all, the groups. So if any of you are part, and how to prioritize that. So if any of you are part of challenge groups yourself for your own health and fitness goals, that would be a great priority, because we certainly want to make sure that you take care of yourself and that you feel good about yourself, and your fitness is important. So make that one of the groups that you're part of, make that one of your priorities. And then Coach Basics, the group that you all are joining that we are having this kickoff call for, make that a priority as well. So those would be the two groups I would suggest checking in. Try and check in daily, try and keep up with little assignments, or if you're posting things in your challenge group or whatever. Those are the 2 groups to focus most of your energy on. And then after that, some of you have been, the different coaches on this team some of us have our own team pages, and some of us are part of the different team pages. So talk with your personally sponsored coach about that piece of it, because we want to make sure that you are getting connected in the right way and not feeling overwhelmed. So some of the coaches, like Terry has her own page, Shannon has her own page like that. So check in with your coach who's your personally sponsored coach about that. And then all of us are part of Inspiration Nation. And hopefully that group will provide you with some resources, some extra information, and that will be a chance where you can learn more about what's coming up and promotions, and we do shout outs in there and stuff like that. So that'll be a great one to check in when you can. But for the length of this Coach Basics, make your challenge group and Coach Basics your #1 groups to check into. Hopefully that makes sense to everybody. Okay, so then let me just tell you about expectations, and then we'll kind of wrap up the call for tonight. So our hope and our goal for you for Coach Basics is that you learn the basics of the business, and that's what we'll talk about this week. So we'll talk about back office stuff, how to make sure you're set up so that if somebody wants to order through you, they can, some of the websites, some of the training. So it'll kind of be like, you know, your first week at a new job where you're just learning about the office and what this at work actually is. And then our goal for the month as a whole is for you to be able to pay for your product by bringing more people on and having people join challenge groups and stuff like that. So paying for the product, learning the back office, and inviting people to your first challenge group. So we'll talk about all those things in the group, but that's the overall goal for Coach Basics, is those things. So this week coming up, we'll talk about the back office. We'll talk about network marketing, which is what this company is, a network marketing company. We'll talk about that, what that means, and you hear about uplines and downlines and ranks and all that kind of stuff. So we'll just begin to talk about a little bit of that stuff. And we'll talk about Beachbody has something called the 3 vital behaviors, and we'll talk more about that, which is invite is the first one, be a product of the product, and personal development. We'll talk about those things this week. It's the kind of the core of Beachbody. And then the second week, we'll talk more about inviting and what to do with objections, and we'll talk about the products and all that kind of stuff in the second week. And then the third week, we're going to talk about the rank and the emerald and what those things mean, and then leads with the company and all that kind of stuff. And then the fourth week, we're going to talk more about how to develop yourself and your skills and your confidence and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the plan for our month together. If it works for you, I'd like to keep this time as a call weekly check-in for us. So this is 9 o'clock Eastern time on Sunday nights. So if this works for you and you can mark it on your calendar, that would be amazing. So that would be we'll have 3 more calls for Coach Basics. So the next one would be Sunday the 8th, and then we'll do the 15th and the 22nd. And then we're going to be posting daily into the group things to help you learn the business and learn all about what's going on. And we can also, in the group, please post your questions and your comments and all those things that you can that we can be helpful with to help everybody get started with confidence and get this up and going. So how about questions? Anybody have anything that you want to hear more about tonight, or any of the other coaches want to add anything that I didn't think of? If you want, you can. If you're muted, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you just repeat the groups again? I didn't catch the first one. Just the name of the group that we should be checking in?
So if you're in a challenge group, everybody's in different challenge groups, so I'm not sure about that. Check with your, was it Jeannie? I think Jeannie was your coach. Yeah, so Jeannie, if you can help Carla make sure she knows which. And then Coach Basics is this call is part of Coach Basics, so that one. And then, so those would be the 2 main groups to check into.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, you got, okay. What else? Other question? I'm gonna just unmute Renee there just in case. Anybody else have questions? Did I miss anything, coaches? No. Okay, well, thank you so much for taking the time to get on. And like I said, I hope you understand, I hope you can tell by the way I look, these are informal, you know what I mean? And occasionally there's a little child that pops up in the background, and that's all fine. We just mute ourselves, or one of these days we're gonna have the kids on the call and let them have a call, because I know they want to do that. But anyway, please, know that whatever you need to do for these calls is absolutely fine. And we are so excited to get started with you, and we can't wait to help you get confidence and have your businesses take off, because we love what we do, and we know that we believe in this whole process. All right, everybody. Good night. Thanks again.
Thank
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.